this is us again, me and Zsofi, and welcome to another episode or reel of Feeling Out Loud.
So what we're talking about today is obviously a very sensitive topic, and it's around death. Okay?
Oh my.
Yeah, and I'm thinking more in the lines of, so someone is dying. How what do you do? How do you express feelings towards that person or their partners or family members? Condolences. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been so much death at the moment.
There is a lot of death around us, and I feel like there's a lot of souls that are making the decision either to stay or to go. And it's almost like you don't really know how to deal with the situation. So when you just said, how do you deal with someone that's dying? My immediate thought is, do you sympathize? Do you say, I'm sorry for what you're going through?
Well, the definition of sorry is being distressed through sympathy with someone's misfortune.
But now, when you use the word misfortune, immediately I go into a completely different dynamic in the sense of when someone is dying, it literally is choice. And I know that that's a lot of times a very uncomfortable feeling in the sense of knowing that this person is choosing it. Yes. So it's not really a misfortune. It's actually having to get to a place where you're accepting that this person that is dying is choosing this experience. And so it's almost like more not just accepting but respecting them for that choice.
Well, also there's that side, but there's also the egoic side, which is that I realize if you're no longer playing this video game called life,
yes,
that my game without you in it changes forever.
I get you.
And so I am sorry for you, but I'm sorry for that part of me that plays with you.
I get you.
Because I am going to be left in a game that no longer has you in it. And I often think we do not understand that the magic of the soul is so significant that you cannot actually understand that every single individual who is currently incarnated in this reality all have such a significant role to play. Everybody is absolutely necessary.
I get you.
And so when they leave, the entire thing changes.
But when they leave, they just leave the physical reality. They don't leave in totality, because I feel like the most amazing part was for me when my dad died, was that realization that after he passed, 3 days later, I was able to sense him in spirit. And I feel like that was the greatest relief, that when I realized that he's not gone completely. Yes, I get that. I would have loved to have him in physical reality. I feel like that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But the moment I could realize that he's just changed form, and it's not that I've lost him and that now we're going to have a relationship in a different way to how we had it before, I felt like it was one of the most amazing experiences.
So I totally agree with you. But at the same time, I know when my nephew passed, it was so funny because I could see his energy form and I could see him in the front of the church. And I had to give space to both sides of myself.
Yes.
I had to give space to the side of myself that is a human.
Yes.
Living in this three-dimensional energy.
Yes.
In this moment.
Yes.
And I had to also make allowances to understand that death isn't the end.
Yes.
It is simply the becoming of something else.
Absolutely.
And so the part that we're saying sorry for is the part where I'm sorry that this version of myself is no longer going to be engaged with the same type of version of yourself.
I get you.
In this moment.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
And so we can't judge ourselves.
Yes.
It shouldn't be a bad thing because we are human.
Yeah, absolutely. But do you think then that there's something to say sorry about, or is it maybe then just getting to a place where you are accepting both sides reality, and then maybe allowing yourself that adjustment of what the reality is, of what this person is choosing that is stepping out and you staying behind. I remember now, as I'm saying this, right at the end where my dad passes, he says to me, he's going to his father now. Now this is his words. But it was so amazing when I realized that what he's choosing is not to leave, is not to harm me. It's actually for him to choose himself, and that this is his next stage. This is his next step. And immediately I felt such a sense of acceptance and gratitude for the fact that I thought, yes, and I in some way felt responsible for making sure that he's okay with what he's choosing, where he showed me I'm actually okay already with what I'm choosing.
Yes.
I'm actually checking, are you okay with what I'm choosing?
And you will feel it more.
Yes.
You will feel it more, because the thing is, you must remember, we are all one. If you put us under a magnifying glass, we are vibrational energy.
Absolutely.
Okay? And quantum physics has proven that over again.
Absolutely.
So if we vibrational frequency and you shift your frequency into a different vibration where I cannot physically see you, experience you, understand you, I am sorry for me.
Yes.
So when you say I'm sorry, because I am sorry that that aspect of me that is you is no longer here with me.
Absolutely.
In this level.
Yes, I get you.
Okay. So saying I'm sorry actually is acknowledging not the person's situation, but your situation in relation to that person.
Absolutely. Almost like for that part of our reality that is now dying off, that is now transforming.
It's transforming. And so what happens is all the natural fears come in because the dance has changed forever.
Absolutely.
So what you're going to find is you're going to make new friends, you're going to have to change your habits. Suddenly the space where that person shared things with you has changed. And so you are left with no choice but to move forward.
Yes.
And that can be extremely overwhelming. So
absolutely, and I feel like that's maybe where we have to have compassion for ourselves as much as we have, and we show compassion to the person that is going through the transition, to realize that it's okay to be human, that it's okay to feel the loss, to feel the fear, to be scared as to how it all changes.
Because you didn't do this, but they went ahead and died, or are dying, and you kind of are sitting here, and it's like, what about me? I'm being left behind.
How do I not have a choice in this which is happening? And I know immediately people would maybe think, but that's selfish. I mean, this person is going through this. But at some point and some stage, you do get that some people feel like, but I'm angry at you because you didn't ask me. You just went ahead and made this choice. And I feel like sometimes it's really important that you feel all those emotions. I feel like sometimes we wanna get to that I'm okay space so quickly that you ignore all the feelings, and then 10 years later it pops out in something completely different, unexpected.
Or illness.
Exactly, or in disease in the body, because of that which you went and squashed in and down because it felt uncomfortable. Maybe that uncomfortability is the biggest gift you can give yourself, and that person is helping facilitate through what they're choosing.
Well, I've never ever seen anybody unchanged by death.
Yes.
And that's one of the most significant events. A birth and a death in a family are literally ripples that impact the entire family system.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's quite remarkable. But listen, we need to wrap up.
Yes, absolutely.
We've been keeping you busy for too long. Thanks very much for listening.
Absolutely. Bye.